What if I told you that Nelson Mandela, a man who became a symbol of freedom and unity, almost gave up on everything before achieving greatness? Stay with me. This story is not just about triumph, but the struggle that shaped a legend. Born in 1918 in the small village of Mvezo, South Africa, Nelson Mandela's early life was shaped by both the beauty of nature and the harsh realities of apartheid. His family belonged to the Thembu royal family, but Mandela didn't grow up surrounded by wealth. Instead, he faced racial discrimination, which was pervasive in the country at the time. His father was a respected chief, but when he passed away, young Nelson was sent to live with the regent of the Thembu clan. That's where he learned the value of leadership. But this was just the beginning. Nelson would later leave his village and pursue education at the University of Fort Hare and the University of Witwatersrand, but what truly set him apart wasn't just his intelligence. No, it was his burning desire for equality, a passion that would ignite his lifelong fight for freedom. By the late 1940s, Mandela's ideas began to take shape. In 1944, he joined the African National Congress, a political party that fought against the oppressive apartheid laws that restricted the rights of non-white South Africans. But let me pause here. What do you think drives someone to risk it all? For Mandela, it wasn't just about himself. It was about his people, the generations to come. In 1952, everything changed for Mandela. His involvement in the ANC's defiance campaign caught the attention of the government, and soon after, Mandela found himself facing arrest. But it didn't stop him. It only fueled his determination. In 1962, he was arrested again, but this time it was different. He faced life imprisonment for his efforts to end apartheid. Imagine what that must have felt like. A lifetime of fighting, only to be thrown into a cold, dark cell. Would you give up? But Mandela didn't give up. He never did. His prison sentence lasted 27 years, and during that time, the world began to notice. In 1990, after decades of isolation, Mandela was released from prison. This was a turning point, a moment when the impossible became real. The crowds that gathered to see him, the global calls for justice, it was clear. The apartheid system was crumbling, and Mandela would soon be the face of a new South Africa. Fast forward to 1994, and the impossible happened once again. Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president, elected in the country's first fully representative democratic elections. It was a victory not just for Mandela, but for every single person who had ever suffered under apartheid. But here's a question for you. What would you do if you had the power to change the world? Mandela didn't just use his position to create a new political system. He used it to heal a divided nation. His focus on reconciliation, not revenge, was a monumental act of leadership. But not everything came easy. Mandela faced fierce opposition even after his release. There were critics, old allies who disagreed with his approach, and political obstacles. In fact, some saw his commitment to peaceful negotiations as a betrayal. Have you ever faced a challenge where you wondered if it was worth it? Nelson Mandela certainly did, but like all great leaders, he dug deep. He believed in a future where all South Africans, regardless of race, would live together in harmony. And he wasn't going to let anything, not even fierce resistance, stop that dream. And even after his presidency ended in 1999, Mandela's influence didn't fade, it grew. He became a global icon for peace and justice, dedicating his post-presidency years to causes like HIV, AIDS awareness and global peace. His autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, has inspired millions worldwide. But here's something remarkable to consider. Even decades later, Mandela's impact still resonates. It's more than his political achievements. It's his message of forgiveness, resilience, and unity. When the world faces division, we still look to Mandela's example. His legacy is not one of a man who sought personal glory, but a man who gave everything for others. And that's what makes him unforgettable. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think was Mandela's greatest achievement? Was it his political victories, his fight for justice, or his power to forgive? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's continue spreading his message of unity and change. Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." His life proves that even the most insurmountable obstacles can be overcome with courage, conviction, and compassion. Mandela's story is a reminder: never give up. Even when it feels like the fight is lost, your moment of greatness might just be around the corner.